songbirds keep singing like they know the score. And I love you, I love you, I love you like never before.
Hey, it's Nate, and today I am doing the gorgeous Songbird by Fleetwood Mac. Here's the deal. The piano part, as played by Christine McVie, is not very beginner. I'm going to jump right in with the left hand doing the root, fifth, and octave arpeggios. If this is feeling too challenging, I did make a separate beginner video that goes at a slower pace with a simplified part. It still sounds great, so check that out. In this video, I'll teach you the main accompaniment patterns and take you through all the chord progressions to get you up and running. Then I'll come back for a second pass to show you all the cool fills and melodies she does throughout. Let's jump in. Okay, so first off, I recommend you get the chords and lyrics chart. There's a link down in the description, and that'll help you follow along and see where the chords and the lyrics line up with each other. And this song sticks to the key of F major, so it's all white keys except for B's are flat. And here's middle C, just so you get the octave. We'll start out with the intro, and when we're done with that, it's gonna sound like this. So here are the notes and counts. Down below, you'll see the underlying chord. We can just keep the left hand simple for now as we learn the right hand part, which is up above. So we're thinking in eighth notes here. The song is in 4/4 time, and each measure gets 4 counts, but we're dividing the beat in half, thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So in that first measure, on beat 1, you can just hit the F. And then on beat 2, we're going to come in with, it's really an inverted F major chord, C, F, and A. And we're going to hit that on 2 and then after count 3 on the and, we're going to step down to do B flat, D, and G. And then on the and after 4, hit the B flat by itself. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, now for the next measure, we can move the left hand down to the C, and right on that first count, we're going to come down to an inverted C major chord, G, C, and E. That's on count 1 and 2, and we're stepping down to F, B flat, and D. I like using my fourth finger there, so it happens really smoothly. We're going to hit that again on beat 4, and then immediately with our fifth finger, step up to an E on the and after 4. So that measure will be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So from the beginning so far, we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, for this measure, we come back up to F. That little G there is just a little ghost note going into the A and C. But you can hit the C with it. It really happens on count 1, just as quickly as you can do it. 1, so I'm using like third and fifth finger here, and then immediately stepping down G, F, and then cross your second finger over to C. So again, 1 and a 2. Really, you need 16th notes there. You can just sort of do it by ear, and you land on the second count on the C. We're going to hit on the and after 3 here, A, C, F, another inversion of the F major chord, followed by just a single A on the and after 4. 1 E and a 2, 3 and 4 and. Let's keep going. We're back to C in the left hand, and we're back to this inverted C chord here, stepping to the F, B flat, D, just like we did before. Rhythm's a little different here though. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So just stepping up to that E on the and after 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This is a little bit weird here. We're gonna land on a root position, F, A, C, F major chord. Your hands would be fighting here. We're gonna fix this when we add the arpeggio, but for now you could just do the lower octave of the F here. Let me play everything up until this point, and we can then tackle just those final 2 measures. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, so after we hit this F major chord here, we're gonna immediately jump up to a different inversion of F major. So it's gonna be C, F, and A, and we're just doing this rocking thing. So it starts off with and 3 and 4 and then again 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So for the last part of the last measure, we're just rocking back and forth on all the eighth notes. So again, those last two measures, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'll play through that whole thing one more time and then we can add those left hand details. It already sounds really good that way. If you want to keep it a little simpler like that for now and skip ahead to the verses, that works. But here is what the left hand is going to look like. So we're doing some arpeggios on using the octave notes we were doing, but also adding the fifth with our second finger. So for the F chords, that's going to be a C note. For the C chords, that's going to be a G note. Okay, and so we start off in the first measure, 1 and 2. And then second measure, go down to C, 1 and 2. Same thing, but then on the and after 3, 3 and 4 and then let's do one more measure. This time we just do low octave and then 2 high octaves, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It's really helpful to notice where the left and right hand connect. So on that high F, that's where the right hand starts. And they connect here. That's probably the hardest part. Just notice the back and forth. C on the end after 3. You hit, it goes left, right, and then the E in the right hand and the C connect. Okay, and then we're back. So there's that back and forth there again. Okay, now for the second part, we've got C, 2 and 3, 4, right on beat 4, and then back to the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So notice that here, the right hand can get out of the way by the time the left hand needs to play that F. And then we have that back and forth again, C, F, C. And the left hand playing on beat 4 there is the start of the left hand just playing that F on every single downbeat, every count. So you got 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the last 3 measures there. It's connecting with the right hand doing the F and A there. As we do those last couple Fs, for you, where the singing begins, and we're gonna do this B flat here. Let's just learn that now because it's actually a different inversion than everywhere else. So we're gonna pivot, third finger can stay on F. You can come up here to this B flat, and it's gonna be D, F, and B flat. So let me play that whole intro with all the parts. All right, so the first part of the verses is just this. It's 2 measures of B flat, 2 measures of F, and that repeats twice. So let's learn the voicings of these chords, and I will go through the accompaniment pattern. For the B flats, we're gonna do this. So it's gonna be F, B flat, and D up here above middle C, and then we're gonna be needing the root, 5th, and octave of B flat down here. So F is the 5th there. I know we did this B flat, that's only for the very first hit coming out of the intro, and then this is gonna be the main voicing. And then the main voicing of F we're gonna use for the verses, is this, just root position. So notice with the B flat, you can keep your first finger on this F, and then F, C, and F is what we need here. So F, A, and C in the right. So that, of course, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. McPhee uses a handful of different playing patterns throughout the song, and there's not a whole lot of rhyme or reason to when she uses what, and it can change from measure to measure. I think the best approach here is to just show you the different options. At first, you might just find that one comes easiest, get into a groove with it, and just use it everywhere. Eventually, you can mix and match however feels natural. The main variation is in the left hand. Here is the first option, where you're gonna do the root, fifth, and octave, so second finger for the fifth, the same way we did in the intro. So on the B flat, that would be 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, and then the F like that, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4. But very often she does it like this, where she doesn't play on the and after 1 and then does 2 and. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. For the right hand playing, she does a lot of that rocking that we did towards the end of the intro, where you do the bottom note of the chord and then the top note back and forth in eighth notes. Using the first pattern, that would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Using the second pattern, that's 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's also quite common for her to hit the top octave again on beat 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and. Furthermore, every 2 measures, she often also emphasizes beat 4 in the right hand, like when you're about to switch chords from the B flat to the F. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1. Maybe that's already overwhelming. Standardize it as much as you need. So from here on out, I'm going to keep it loose and instinctual with my left hand and just focus on teaching you the chord progression and all the stuff the right hand does. So here's the full chord progression for the verse. After those first 2 lines of the B flats and the Fs, we're going to move to a G minor, and we're going to voice it like this. G, D, G are going to be the root 5th octave in the left hand, and then we're going to do D, G, and B flat in the right hand. And then coming up to a B flat. And this is that lower end version of B flat. All you got to do from the G minor is go to your second finger on F there. And that is the first time we have 2 chords in the same measure. So it's happening a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. With the pattern, it'll be like 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Then we're going to come up to this D minor. So I'm going to do A, D, and F here. Root 5th octave is D, A, and D. And those little dashes mean that we stay on that D minor for 3 counts, and then on the 4th count of the measure, just that one hit, we're going to be on a C. We're just going to step this whole thing down, C, G, and C in the left, G, C, and E in the right, on our way to a B flat. And this B flat is voiced the same way that we did it in the first part. And that's on that for 2 measures before just landing on an F for 4 measures. I'll sing through that whole first verse. Just remember at the end of the intro, we were on this lower F inversion, and just the very first hit of the verse is this lower inversion of the B flat before we hop up to the slightly brighter sounding higher inversion.
For you, there'll be no more crying. For you, the sun will be shining, and I feel that when I'm with you, it's alright. I know it's right. To you,
So that would be going into the second verse. Here's the chords to the second verse. It is exactly the same as the first, but you are only on that F at the end for 2 measures before we go into the chorus. So let's check out the chorus. It starts out on a C major chord, but this time we're just doing a root position C. It's a little lower, should feel nice and powerful. It's a full measure of that. Then we're gonna step down to a root position B flat, D, and F before we hit a D minor. And that's gonna be A, D, and F like that. Same way we voiced it before, but we are an octave lower. But it only stays on that for a moment before hopping up an octave higher. And the songbirds are singing like they know the score. Okay, so a little bit more is going on there in the measures of D minor. There's this passing chord down to C. I didn't write it in, but we're gonna hit the C the same way we did before and then step down to this inversion of D minor, F, A, and D. And that timing there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now for this B flat major 7, the right hand's gonna stay exactly the same with the D on top, and rather than doing the B flat down here like we just were, we're gonna go up to that higher octave. For that is for a measure. We've got this C9 chord, really nice here, G, B flat, D, so like a G minor triad in the left, but with the C, G, and C for the left hand notes. That's for a measure before coming back to F for 2 measures. So that whole chorus, and the songbirds are singing like they know the score. And I love you, I love you, I love you like never before. Before we would go into the instrumental section. So here's the chords to what I'm calling instrumental / verse 3. It starts out just like the verses with the 2 lines of the B flat and the F. And then we get to that same G minor to B flat section. So those first 2 lines are instrumental. There's no singing, but when we get to the G minor, the singing comes back in, and that's gonna be for the, and I wish you all the love in the world. So that's just like the other verses. And then this part's a little different. We already talked about the chords though. It's 2 measures of C9. That's for the, but most of all, I wish it from myself. And we're just on that F for 2 measures before we have the second chorus. And the songbird keeps singing. And that chorus starts just like the first one, all the way through the, and I love you, I love you, I love you like never before. Except for you're just on that F for 1 measure before sort of the outro to the song starts with the, like never before. Like never before. Like never before. So what I was doing there is just going back and forth between the F and the B flat over C. So voicing the B flat here, but doing the C root 5th and octave here. That is the simplified version. I think it sounds really good. But there is a special piano part here, and I will just show it to you if you want to add it. So this first measure here is what happens in any of those measures of the B flat / C. So we can do the C bass note here, do whatever arpeggio pattern you want in the left, but we've got this chord is like an inverted A minor chord, C, E, and A, and that just hits on the and after 1. 1, and 2, and. So we saw that in the intro, the B flat, D, and G. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. So that is also a move that we did in the intro. And then when you get to the F, you don't hit the right hand on beat 1. I'll just do a little arpeggio here. 1 and 2. So again, that G is a grace note. It's not really on the and after 1 there. It just kind of slides into that. And then for the rest of that measure, you can just kind of hit on, beat 3 or 4, do the rocking thing with the F before you repeat back. And that is the end of the song. Okay, you now know everything you need to do an awesome sounding cover of this song. But now I'll go through a second time and give you lots of options to do all the little fills and additions you hear on the record. I want to stress, McVie did a bunch of takes of this song and played it different every time. I recommend you learn and add the ones you like and put them where you like them and not get too hung up on doing it right. Okay, and we already did the full accurate intro at the beginning. So starting with the first verse, for you, there'll be no more crying. So that's the first thing there. It's similar to that fill coming down in the intro that we did. So you do that little roll with a G to A, cross your second finger to C, which lands you in this lower version of the F. And then at the end of the first measure, F, you just have this little 3 and 4. So you just go back and forth between that inversion of F, step up to a root position B flat, and back. 3 and 4, 2, 3, 4. And you can just hang out on that inversion of the F for the rest of that before we go back up to the B flat. For you, the sun will be shining. So she does a little fill there on the F. You can do these little, just those moves, holding the 5th, sliding between the 2nd and the 3rd there. So just kind of fill on that. And I just want to say, anytime you land on a root position F in these verses, you can just do a little grace note. So I'm going to throw that in throughout, as she does. And then we get to the G minor part. And she often does a melody here that sounds sort of like this. So she doesn't really land on that B flat chord. It's just sort of implied by the left hand. And the way she does it in the first verse is hitting that B flat twice, and then just stepping down on A, G, and F. 1, 2, and 3, 4. And then last thing for this verse here, when we get to that B flat, it's alright, I know it's right. So when you hit that B flat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Just coming down, replacing the middle note with A and then G, and then 3 and 4 and. Just this little melody stepping up in the scale, G, A, B flat, C. So again, from the beginning of the B flat there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I lied. There is something more here. This is going to be the... to you. So let's actually write that out. Here's what this is going to look like. In the middle here, we have the last 2 of the 4 measures of F. So we'll just be hanging out on the F. You could even hang out on the lower F inversion until this moment, which I think she does. Whenever we're at rest on the F, you can go down to this lower inversion. So that's optional. But at the end of the second measure of F there, we're going to have G, A, F on 3 and 4. Okay, and then D, C, A, G, F. Those are happening on all the upbeats. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And then we have this fast run here. C, D, F, G, A, B flat. You're just stepping up every note in the scale except for you're not doing E. And 3 and 4 and I like crossing my thumb under to the F. And 3 and 4 and 1. That B flat there is the start of the second verse. And indeed, she just plays the single note instead of the chord. So from the beginning of the 4 measures of F, after I know it's right, I'm going to move to that lower inversion there. To you. And the last thing to mention there is in the left hand, she really simplifies it there and just kind of plays on the downbeats. You can just go like that if you like. Okay, verse 2. To you. Remember, we're just hitting the B flat there, coming off that run. I'll give the world. So there's this nice little move here coming down to the F where she just steps down in thirds here. You can do 3 and 5, 2 and 4, 1 and 3 before landing on the F, and maybe do a little fill there on the F. And the timing there, it's triplets. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're hitting 3 in the course of 2 beats. 3, 4. Think triplet. Then we land on F. And I believe she lands on that lower F chord. And anytime you're on that lower F chord, like coming out of the intro, the nearest B flat is this inversion. And she does that a lot, where she'll be on this F here, and then she'll start the next B flat section like that, and then leap up, just like we did at the start of the first verse. I'll never be cold. I think there's a little fill there on the sus2. 'Cause I feel that when I'm with you, it's alright. So just this time on that section, there's that really nice just kind of riffing on the sixths. And she actually, just this time, doesn't step down with the left hand. The left hand just kind of chills out for a second, and it really highlights that. So that's just going 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and when we're hanging out on the B flat there, you can throw in a little sus with the C instead of the D. I know it's right. Moving down to the lower inversion of the F, leading into the chorus. The first part of this chorus is really cool. And the songbirds are singing like they know the score. So on that C, 2, 3, and 4. So stepping up thirds like that. So 3 and 2 and 4 on D and F. And then you could just do the top or play the whole chord. And then we get to the B flat. There's this little da 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 melody there. D, C, D, E, F. 1, 2, 3. You can hit the whole chord there. And 4 and 1 and hit the whole chord there. Just on the last count of that measure of the D minor there, 2, 3, 4, you can just step the top note down to a C. I think that's pretty optional, but she does that. Then we've got, and I love you. And this time, this first chorus, she does this whole melody here. I think this is super optional, but this is what it sounds like. So we land in that B flat major 7, and you might want to use your third finger here actually, because we need the second finger for that G. 1, 2, and 3, and just stepping down, and you can just keep harmonizing these melody notes with that high D. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and the and after 4 there before you hit the C, and 3 and 4 and, so G, A, harmonizing with the D, G, A, then single notes, C, D, F, which sets your hand up nicely to land in that lower F inversion. That would be taking you into the next instrumental section. Once again, since we're on this lower F inversion already, we're just going to hit the first B flat of that instrumental section in the lower inversion before stepping up. And sort of surprisingly, in the first 2 lines of this instrumental section, she doesn't do a whole lot fancy. It's really just riffing on the main playing pattern on these chords. She does a little bit of unexpected rhythm there, hitting on the and after 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So once again, on this B flat, you can hit on the and after 3, and she goes and 4 and, hitting the sus there with the C. 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Landing down in the lower version of the F. You can throw in this little leading into the G minor section, just a little play on the G. And this was actually the 3rd time it happened. So you could do that in the 2nd verse as well. And I wish you all the love in the world. A little melody when she hits the B flat there. Just D, C, E on 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. But most of all, I wish it from myself. Okay, so I'll write this out for you here on this C9. On this is the 2nd measure of the C9 here. 1, 2, and 3, just stepping up E, F, reach up to the G, and then land in a higher inversion of F here. A, C, F. So from the beginning of the C9 section, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3. Moving down to that lower inversion of F to get ready for the next chorus. Songbird keeps singing like they know the score. That's all the same. And then we get to that part with the B flat over C. I already showed you the... So that's just like we did it. Although the 3rd time it's slightly different. So it does 2 of the C's, 1 of the B flats instead of the other way around. And then on the very last F here, it hits the little fill just on the downbeat instead of waiting like the other 2. And you just do. And then there's this final little moment. And those are the notes here. G, A, C, D, C. Move your hand up. G, A, C. You can maybe just hold those all out at the end. And the timing is really loose. The sense of tempo really slows down there. And then the song is over. Okay, thank you for sticking with me. I am now going to do a full playthrough of everything so you can see how it all fits together. I'm doing all the details that I taught you in that last section. I know I went a little fast on that, but I'm going to do it all, but you can take or leave any of it and just keep it simple if you need. And I want to note this is the original key. I am singing it down an octave to suit my voice better, but if you can sing it up the octave, go for it. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and click the bell so you know when I put out more videos just like this one. Okay, here is my version of Songbird.